everyone. Hello. Happy Magical Mondays. I am, of course, Alicia Yang, your success coach and psychic at yestotheyang.com, where success starts by saying yes to you. Holy crap. This has been an intense July already. If you have been feeling it, last week, Sirius opened or whatever in the astrological sign, which was like a week of like really being able to access a lot of the guidance from the universe. And I know that for me, I was definitely much closer to my guides and really getting a clear view as to what I needed to do in order to move forward on my soul's purpose and path. What's interesting about this week, right? So this week, Mercury went into retrograde yesterday, if you didn't feel that. And then today, Chiron goes into retrograde. Now, if you're not into astrology, don't worry, because again, whether you're just feeling things or not, or experiencing things or not, I'm going to help you, especially with today's video, kind of go through what it is that you need to look out for and what it is that you can do, because the theme of this week, I'm just trying to get my camera straight. The theme of this week is to step up and be the authentic leader of your life. So this week is all about reviewing, reassessing, and reevaluating exactly how are you actually leading your life. If you were, in a sense, it's kind of like having to put on this hat of being like the CEO or like the total hashtag like boss babe of your life. If you were actually looking at what you've done in the past 7 months, like for this year of 2019, what actions have actually gotten you further towards your goal and what actions have not? What actions maybe have been either just like flailing about or just wasted energy or just really not getting you to where you want to go, right? So one of the important things that you can ask yourself this week in order to figure out what you need to put on your to-do list so that you can, again, move forward fearlessly towards your goals and accomplish them, is to really just take a minute and just evaluate and say, okay, is this action something that is going to further me and support me in getting to where I want to go? If the answer is yes, then obviously do it, keep it on your to-do list. If it is not, then let's put it down on the bottom of the priority list or chuck it all together. The other main thing that I wanted to note with Mercury retrograde, so my ruling planet is Mercury because I'm a full-blown Gemini. And so it used to make me super crazy when Mercury went retrograde because communication is a big thing. And I love to communicate, and sometimes communication barriers would just like go kaput because, again, Mercury was going to retrograde and I was needing to reassess, review, reevaluate, and all these things. So here's the thing. I want to remind you that just because a planet goes retrograde, it doesn't mean that all these bad things are going to happen. It's actually quite the contrary. So when all the planets are direct, you have this like all signs are green, it's good to go, and you want to like charge forward fearlessly and just like get all this action done and hopefully like, manifest everything that you want. The thing though is that, of course, if you're on a spiritual journey, there's always some old wounds that may not have, but that may still need to be healed. There may be like an operating system or like a way that you're doing something that is maybe not the easiest way for you to get what you want, or even like actually getting what you want, even though you think it might be, right? So Mercury's it's gone retrograde from yesterday till August 1st. So it's for the next 3 weeks. It's a really, really actually a wonderful time to like take a minute and like take some time for yourself and really ask yourself like, hey, like how the way that I'm living my life, the operating systems that I'm using, the way that I'm communicating with people, the way that I'm communicating with myself. How is this dialogue going? Is this really supporting me? Is this really getting me what I want, or is it not? and then adjust accordingly. One of the other really big themes with both this Mercury in retrograde and Chiron going into retrograde is this whole concept of rising up, having courage, being kind, just like Cinderella, and really taking full ownership of your life. A lot of the times we tend to go through this little bit of a blame game type of thing where we, if something doesn't go right, life shits on us for whatever reason, and it's always like, oh, well, they fucked up. They didn't stop at the red light. They didn't do this. It's their fault. That's the reason why I'm fucking pissed and why my life fucking sucks, because that person didn't do what they were supposed to do. So therefore I'm like, basically paying for it. While that is true that other people can technically affect your life, right? If someone's really shitty to you and says shitty things to you, obviously that feels really bad and you don't want to have that, right? And it is that person's fault for saying those things. But in this vibrational law of attraction, right? What made you energetically available to even have somebody like that in your space to begin with? This is a lot of the soul work, the spiritual work. If you don't like the word spiritual, again, it is that personal self-development work that is necessary for anybody to grow and evolve. Sometimes it's really hard to look at because, it's easier to blame someone else than it is to blame yourself. Or to own up to, hey, this is how I contributed. Or, you know what? Wow, this is an old wound where, I'm replaying this story of like how my father was nasty, always said nasty things to me. I'm just making this as an example. My dad didn't say nasty things to me. But like, what if my dad, let's say, for example, my boyfriend keeps on saying nasty things to me and it makes me feel really bad and he's such an asshole, he's not supportive, he's not whatever, right? Let's say that's your case. Then it's like, well, is it really the boyfriend or is it really the fact that you're replaying an old wound and an old story from your childhood, from when your father used to say all these things and you want to try and either A, change it and feel like you could fix him, or even it could be the fact that you might want to side with your mother in choosing someone and choosing a boyfriend who is very similar to your dad, who's going to treat you the same way so that you can commiserate together and make her feel better, right? I know, lots of these crazy, big, huge concepts that I'm throwing out there. Just marinate, see if it resonates, if it doesn't. But my point is this. My point is that regardless of what it is that might be these old wounds and old triggers that might be coming up for you, right? It doesn't have to be about your significant other. It can be about money and work, right? Why you're never getting the promotion, why you're always overlooked, why you're never recognized. Take a look at that, right? Because ultimately, you are the creator of your own life. You have the power in your hands. And it's time within this next 3 weeks to really reclaim your power and be like, okay, if I'm with a guy that doesn't make me happy, then either A, break up with him, or B, speak your truth, demand what you desire and how you want to be treated. And then if he doesn't rise up, then, you can just walk away, Or if it's with a job, it's if you're not getting recognized, if it's really not part of your soul's purpose, if it's something that's not making you happy, then you have the option to leave. This is the thing that I think most people tend to become a victim of our circumstances, because it's really easy to say, oh, it's the job, oh, it's the parents, oh, it's that person, oh, it's that shitty friend. But ultimately, you have a choice whether you want to stay in that situation or if you want to leave. And that's actually a really liberating thing to think about. Okay, think about this for a second, because again, you know me, I'm all about ease, flow, fun, and freedom. And I want you to live happily ever after with tons of choices, being able to do whatever you want to do, whenever you want to do it, and feel fucking free and happy, right? So freedom entails having choices. And a lot of the times when we get into these old ruts, into these old old wounds and into these old routines, we think we have to stay there because of X, Y, and Z reason. Those X, Y, and Z reasons end up becoming excuses. And there is a very big difference between an excuse and a solution, right? So when you start to hear yourself say, okay, well, I have to stay at this job because I have to pay rent. It's really steady. There are a couple of good things about it, but not really, but it's really not like, and you're just kind of like justifying. It's like, well, but it's going to be hard to find another one, or I don't really know what I want to do afterward. Here's the thing. All those things are excuses for not choosing, right? The solution for this issue, let's just say with the thing, right? Because again, I'm not trying to sit here and be like, you're not facing the facts, because it's hard to face the facts. But what I'm trying to open your eyes to is for you to just take like a broader perspective on this and be like, look, this is really interesting. I'm doing a job that really doesn't make me feel good, and I don't feel fulfilled or feel rewarded or feel compensated for the value that I bring. That's interesting. Okay, what do I really want instead? Well, I want a job where I'm getting massively compensated for my time. I want to be acknowledged for all the hard work that I do and all of the, the gifts and the talents that I bring and how I really like improve people's lives. I want to, I want to be acknowledged for that. I want to be validated for that. I want to be like respected for that. And I want to be able to do something that's along my soul's purpose. Awesome. Great. So now that we know what we do want, okay, cool. What would be the next step that I could take in order to find a job like that? Okay, maybe I should go and like hunt for some jobs or like ask around and see if there are some other temporary jobs that I could actually do in the meantime while I'm figuring out what it is I really want to do, right? So I'm not saying this has to be like, oh, well then my dream job is to be like X, Y, and Z, and so I'm just gonna like fuck my 9-to-5, go into total debt and like try and go for my dream. I'm not saying that at all. You can do that. I've done that before. I almost fucked myself, but like I rose to the occasion, and I did my things. But my thing is that from a practical standpoint, again, because I'm all about giving you spiritual tools and practical ways so that you can get everything that you want. The love, the money, the success, everything. So let's reassess how you go about getting the things that you want. Do you go about them because just kind of plodding along, putting your needs last? Or are you ready to say, hey, my needs matter. I need to take care of myself. I need to do things that make me happy, because when I'm happy, then I attract more money, and the more money that I make, I can help even more people. Maybe this isn't really about even the job. Maybe this is about me owning my self-worth and wanting to do things that truly make me feel worthy, where I can validate myself, when I can acknowledge myself, when I can take care of myself, mind, body, and soul, okay? Where I can take care of myself to the point where I can do good, where I am so replenished, full of love, that I can then give so much of myself to others. Does that make sense? So especially if you're part of like my spiritual gangster crew, like you'll know, right? Like it always is so much deeper than just the superficial answer. Hi! It is always so much deeper than just, oh, it's my shitty job. Or, oh, it's because I can't find, the one. Or, oh, it's because I'm not where I want to be in my career. That's never really the source of the angst or the problem, because ultimately the reason why that's being such a trigger is because it is coming from an old wound or an old belief or an old pattern or some old karma that, you called spiritual gangster crew here. Yes. Dot is totally part of my spiritual gangster crew. And you can chime in and tell me if you agree or not. But it's all of this stuff where we feel unhappy, where we feel stuck, where we get these like even physical ailments, right? I'm personally going through massive spiritual ascension. Like I can feel myself spiritually ascending and I'm getting crazy symptoms. But again, it like, for example, I'm bloating whenever I eat a vegetable, which just is asinine. Like it just seems so stupid. And so it's like, okay, well, it's clearly not the vegetable. All right, like let's be honest. This is clearly, I'm not bloated high, like to high heavens because of a vegetable. I'm bloated because there is a bigger concept that is really difficult for me to digest right now. So that's my spiritual work that I would do. And I would say, okay, what is it that I'm having a really hard time digesting? What is it that I can't quite stomach? What is it that I know is good for me, but I'm having a really fucking hard time breaking it down so that I can get the answers that I want. Then find the answers there, then heal that, then give myself that healing, taking the time to actually do this kind of work, and then the rest of it happens, right? Then the money comes and the love comes and the success comes, and I wasn't even thinking about that stuff. I was just clearing up these blockages from the past. Does that make sense? So that's the kind of work that we can do this week, and I invite you to do with me. So one of the easiest ways that you can do it is just say, okay, cool, what are some like triggers or what are some things that have pissed me off this week or lately, and what do I want to change? What do I want to do about it? And then once you write that list of like a couple of things, then you can start doing the process of being like, okay, so that what is this really about? And that's just something that you can just ask yourself. It's not about the diet. It's not about not being a size, like looking perfect, having the perfect body, having the perfect lover, having the amount of money in your bank account, having a great relationship. It's not about that. What is this really about? Because ultimately, at the end of the day, it is all comes back to you and your journey and what your soul wants to learn at this point in time. And I wanted to make one last thing before we picked cards. I wanted to make one last main point because I think it's really important. Everybody is on their own spiritual journey. Everybody. Even if they're not spiritual, they're on their own journey. And their soul is meant to learn specific lessons throughout their life here on Earth. We all are, right? But here's the thing. It is their job to learn those lessons. It is their job and responsibility to do the work, seek the help, get the guidance, and really level up and change. It is not your job to fix them. It is not your job to change them. It is not your job to get them to see the light. Because the fascinating thing, and this is like what it's been really fascinating being like a coach in the more spiritual realm too. But it's really fascinating because while I personally may have gone through some things and have like gained some wisdom in certain areas of life and can like impart that wisdom to everyone else, ultimately, like, if a client comes and they're like not able to see past their front nose what is so obvious to me, here's the thing. I can't force them into awareness. They have to realize that on their own. But what I can do is I can provide them with tools to help them discover that. I can give them the tools. So even though I see like she just needs to stop being a fucking victim and like take ownership of her life, like, right? Not that I would ever say that to one of my clients in that way, but do you know what I'm saying? Like, I know that there's times when people can get super judgy and being like, they didn't read enough books. They weren't smart enough to do this and they could have da-da-da-da-da-da. A lot of the times when you've got that pivotal kind of like judginess going on, it is an indicator of how you're feeling about yourself. So I would definitely invite you also, if that's something that you feel like you've been doing recently, to like go within and just say, okay, where am I not giving myself that love? Or where am I not looking deep enough to find the answers that I desire? Where am I not treating people with the respect that they desire? Or where am I not treating myself with the respect and love and courtesy that I'm like hating on someone else? I'll give you a really quick example. So I was rewatching like Project Runway, and this girl, Gretchen, is just a total witch. And she's really talented, but she's super holier than thou. She thinks she knows the best. She thinks she knows what's like fashionable and what's not. And she likes to throw other people under the bus, you know, because she thinks she knows better. And I'm just like, this girl just needs to shut the fuck up. She was just annoying the shit out of me because I was like, okay, wow, like it's really grating on my nerves how mean she was. And she was like, I'm just trying to help. And it was like so fake. And I took a second and I was like, let me take a step back, right? And I was like, where am I feeling holier than thou in myself? Like, what part of me is saying, oh, wait, so the part of me that's scared, the part of me that's broken, the part of me that still needs to be healed, where is that other part of me that's looking down on that part and being like, hey, that part of you is not good enough, right? And then I'm like, oh yeah, I do tell myself that. Like, oh, you should be this, or you should be that, or you should get over it, or you should just move on. And it's like, you know what? No, I need to be kinder to myself. Right? Because see, ultimately, it's not about Gretchen. It's not about Project Runway. It's not about like Mean Girls and, you know, that kind of thing. It's like, where inside of yourself are you having that own conflict to say, okay, wow, like I've really been super mean and judgy to myself. That's not nice. How can I change that? Okay, let's be gentler with myself. Let's love myself. Let's look into these old, like the inner child, the younger version of me, or the parts that are coming up that still need to be loved a little bit more. And like, let's actually love her. Let's actually tell her it's okay. Let's take her hand and walk her through these scary, you know, incidents so that she can heal and evolve and know that she's always safe and loved and supported. Doesn't that feel so much fucking better, right? And that in itself is the real work. Because once you start to heal those wounds, once you stop beating yourself up for shit that happened that you had no control over, or you were doing the best that you could with what you had at the time, and you just like honor that and have that be okay, and you fully love yourself in that way, and just be like, hey, this is me, and that's fine. Yes, Greatest Showman, that is literally the ringtone on my phone. Then you can move forward with ease and heal and grow and not have as much shit piss you off, and then you can attract even more love and money and success into your life. Does that make sense? Okay, let's pull some cards. I don't know, John, if you're still watching, but should we do the same thing of 2 magical mermaids and 2 archangel power cards? Or should we do 2 magical mermaids and 2 fairy cards? I kind of really want to do the magical mermaids because apparently like Neptune's wife is now like rising up, and she's all about like embracing and embodying our entire divine feminine. And so that's something that I really want to do for the rest of this month as well, is like really restoring my whole divine feminine. So I want to do those. So let me know something earthy too. Yeah. Well, I have the Sacred Earth Oracle also. So we can do the Magical Mermaids. We can do the Sacred Earth Oracle. Oh, fuck. Just not having it today. We can do Power or Fairies. Let me know. I'll be right back. Earth and mermaids. Okay. Earth and mermaids. Okay, let me put these back. And then I will do Earth. All right, let's do this. Whew. Spiritual ascension symptoms have got me like, what? Okay, let's meditate. If you're here live or if you're watching the replay, you can always meditate with me. And on a side note, this snail mucus ampule thing is like doing wonders for my skin. So if you're curious about how to get flawless skin really fast with one product that's only $13 on Amazon, let me know. Okay, let's close our eyes. Relax in our chairs. And breathe. Take a deep breath in and out. Take a deep breath in and out. Take a deep breath in and out. And then roll your eyes in and up and focus on that place in between your eyebrows, which is your third eye. We now call upon the universe, God, angels, spirit guides to come and surround us in a white and pink bubble of protective love and light. This is a protective bubble where nothing negative can come through and only love and above may enter. Anything that comes up for us during this little guided pick a card guidance will be simply transmuted into love and light. We ask that you help us heal our old wounds, to be kinder to ourselves, and to have courage to step up as the leader in our own lives. We ask that you heal anything that needs to be healed. Help us heal anything easily and quickly and with love. We ask that you help us gain clarity on what we need to do in order to move forward towards our soul's purpose and our life's mission. We know that we are safe and loved and protected, and we are willing to do our part. Please use me as a channel. Please use me as a channel, a clear channel to deliver your clear and loving guidance to anyone who needs it. You are brilliant. You are a magical manifester, and you have power beyond your wildest dreams. And it is time for you to take your power back. This is a time for miracles. This is a time for magic. And this is a time to open yourself up to receive all of the abundance that the universe has in store for you. Even with all those planets in retrograde, it doesn't matter. Abundance can still flow to you despite any planets retrograde, despite anything that may be coming up, despite anything that anyone else says. Abundance is your birthright. Love is yours. And you have everything that you need in order to succeed. Amen. Well, that little extra part came out of nowhere, but I felt that it was necessary, so I guess it was said what it was said. Thank you for that channeling. Okay, let's do the pick a card guidance for this week. So again, if you are new to this, what happens is I pick 4 cards and you simply pick card 1, 2, 3, or 4, or if you feel called to do 2 of the cards, 3 of the cards, all of the cards, And then I will reveal them and channel any guidance about those cards. And then you can take that guidance and apply it to your week. All right, so we're going to pick 2 cards from the Magical Mermaids and Dolphins deck first in honor of Neptune's wife, because I love the ocean and the dolphins, and they're feeling really happy. So let's pull 2 cards. It's going to be card number 1 and 2. All right. Okay, this is going to be card number 1. And then this is going to be card number 2. Now we're going to use my Sacred Earth Oracle deck that I got in Australia, because I agree with you, Dawn. Mother Earth is definitely calling. Blue jays have been so apparent in my life recently. It's another story for another time. I'm going to pick 2 cards from the Sacred Earth. Okay, this is going to be card number 3. And card number 4. Okay. Yay, this is my favorite part. I love the cards and the guidance that comes through. Okay, so if you are live, you get to choose live. And if you're watching the replay, just pick a card anyway, because I'm going to give you time. We are in this bubble, and then we will get to the guidance. Okay, so we've got, from the Mermaid deck, we've got card 1. Right? Yeah. We've got card 1. Card 2. Card 3. And card 4. So again, choose a card. If you choose a card, comment below. You can do card 1, card 2, card 3, and card 4. Okay. I'm going to give you a hot second to choose and to comment. Again, you can choose 1 card, 2 cards, 3 cards, all cards. It's a very loud water bottle, but it's really good. 1 and 4. Okay, cool. Awesome. 1 and 4. All right, well, I'm going to read them all now. Obviously, you choose what you would like to choose. Okay, let's do this. Whew. All right. So card number 1 is music for manifesting. This is one of my favorite cards, and I have lots to say. Okay. To manifest rapidly, think of your desire while you chant, hum, sing, or play music. Music is a powerful ally on your spiritual path as it serves to boost your manifestation powers. This is why music is my soul. Music is part of the invisible realm and is of a higher frequency than that of the physical plane. I will repeat that. Music is part of the invisible realm and is of a higher frequency frequency than that of the physical plane. It wraps us in a protective shield to guard us from negative energies. It also lifts our emotions and thoughts to joyful levels. By drawing this card, you're urged to play any type of music that suits your mood as often as possible. Move your body to the music and breathe in deeply as you listen to it, drawing in the energy of each note. Use magic as a manifestation tool. First, sit quietly and think of your desire. Imagine that your dream has already come true and feel that reality in your stomach as warmth, peace, excitement, or security. Feel gratitude in your heart. As you enjoy these feelings, begin to chant, hum, or sing. This self-made music sends your manifestation into the ethers where it coagulates into tangible reality. Okay, I personally love this card because I do think that music is really powerful, and I think it really does change people's lives a lot more than they think, unless you just don't like music. But I'm obsessed with music, and there's a brand new TV show. So the thing that's coming through is the message that's also really coming through is to be really careful, be really aware of what kind of songs you're actually listening to. So not just the melody, but actually the lyrics. Because if you're listening to stuff that tends to be maybe a little bit more sad or forlorn, or maybe it's a bit more just like, there's something about like the message of the songs that you're listening to, like just pay attention to them. And if you're wanting a different outcome, to then change the different types of songs that you're listening to. So what's really cool is there's this brand new TV show on NBC called Songland, and it's amazing. It is a reality show, but not like The Voice or not like American Idol or even Real Housewives. Anyway, the point is that a famous artist like John Legend, Meghan Trainor, the Jonas Brothers, will.i.am, they come on the show, and these top 3 producers in the music industry bring 4 or 5 like super talented unknown songwriters who present their songs to the artist, and the artist will then pick one song to actually sing and put on their new album. It's amazing, and there's no drama, and it's just all helpful, and like you see them get into the zone and like improve these songs, and it's freaking powerful, and it's so inspiring to watch. I highly suggest you like YouTube that shit. What's really fascinating is that this last episode was especially empowering for me because they were looking for a song for the new Fast and Furious franchise called Hobbs and Shaw, starring The Rock. So they had these 4 super talented songwriters come and share their songs, which are so motivating and so empowering. And so I suggest that you watch it just because I know that music really gets me in the mood and gets me inspired and helps me stand up and have the courage to become the leader in my own life. Because again, that's the whole message of the next 3 weeks is like becoming the leader of your own life, having courage, but still being super kind to yourself. You can be a leader and not be an asshole. And again, that might just be a limiting belief that needs to be rewritten, right? But if you desire more love, how does love feel? Play music that makes you feel that way. If you want to manifest more money, how would it feel to have the money how would it feel to have that amount sitting in your bank account? If that makes you feel excited, find a song that makes you feel excited. Or if it makes you feel free, find a song that makes you feel free. Does that make sense? Manifesting. Okay. Card number 2. Is that all? I probably could go on and on about music, but I think that's all. Okay. Card number 2 is self-employment. There are people who need to see this. Okay. You're a born entrepreneur and your business is surrounded by magical opportunities. Before I even read this, I am telling you that if you are watching this and you picked card number 2, this is definitely a sign from the universe that you are ready that you may not be meant for the 9 to 5, that you may be meant to really create your own business and use your specific and unique talents and gifts in order to, again, receive all the money that you desire, but also feel incredibly fulfilled. You have the drive, discipline, and desire to be your own boss, like being the own boss of your life. This card also shows that you have the magical ingredients for a successful business. Heaven wants you to know that you're fully supported spiritually. It's so big. As long as you stay enthusiastic, new opportunities will come to you. Your positive energy attracts customers, clients, and contracts. If you're in the process of opening a new business, now is the time to do spiritual work. Praying, meditating, visualizing, and affirming. To conduct research about your business and to work on yourself by eating healthfully, getting sufficient sleep, and exercising regularly. These multiple layers of action will propel you into miraculous business opportunities. And I think this is another really big theme in general with like Mercury in retrograde and Chiron in retrograde about like really taking care of yourself. If you were the CEO or boss of your own company, you would make sure that it was running smoothly, right? Which means you have to feed your body good foods. You have to drink plenty of water. You have to exercise regularly in order to physically be in a good mental state, to be able to do the soul work, to be able to be positive and enthusiastic about the business that you want to create, right? Because I know with any company, and I know this from a lot of experience, but it's like the CEO always dictates the mood and the outcome of the business. So if it's a CEO that doesn't give a shit about customer service, then it's usually the business usually has really shitty customer service. If a business really cares about their people and getting high quality clothing, usually they have like a really high retention rate and a high sell through rate because they're really coming from a place of positivity, enthusiasm, and serving their customers. So you can take a look at something like Nordstrom, shopping at Nordstrom's versus shopping at Macy's, right? Nordstrom's thrives itself on customer service, having this ridiculously like flexible return policy, and always having like a really good selection of luxurious, beautiful items for, semi-affordable prices, right? And then Macy's, you just go in and you just comb through the racks and you hopefully get what you get, right? There isn't as much of a focus on customer service, right? Does that make any sense? So think about that for yourself, for your body, and for your business. What do you want to focus your attention on? Being kind, helping others, feeling fulfilled? Then you have to fulfill yourself and give yourself that fulfillment as well. Does that make sense? Okay, self-fulfillment. All right. Now on to the Sacred Earth Oracle cards. These are my favorite. Okay. If you picked card number 3 is time. How beautiful are these cards? Okay. So this is scripted out a little bit differently. Hold on. So the earthly meaning of this card is bitterness or frustration over plans gone awry. Feeling it is too late, that you have missed out, or that things are not happening quickly enough. I have been there and I feel you. Comparisons lead to a sense of failure or lack of joy. Pining for youth or lamenting time lost through unwise choices. Set a priority or release yourself from anxiety by weighing up what will really matter in a week, a year, or a decade. So that's a really good thing about time. Like, time is the only thing we can't get back, technically, right? We can always make more money. We can always get new friends, right? We can always get more food, but we can't really ever get back that time. And we have this, like, society has this, like, timeline where we're supposed to get married by a certain age, supposed to have, like, our 401k and, like, our house and picket fence and, X amount of dollars in the bank by a certain age, right? And, like, that's all just, like, a false timeline because, again, going back to what I said before, everyone is on their own spiritual journey. So you are where you are and you're exactly where you need to be in order to learn the lessons that you need to learn. So if you're really worried about something, if you feel like you've missed out, ask yourself, is this really going to matter a year from now, a week from now, a year from now, or a decade from now? And if it is, you can have make the choice to do something about it. But if it doesn't, then you don't need to worry about it anymore, right? So the spiritual meaning of this time card. Okay. Feelings, memories, and emotions rise and fall in the ocean of your heart. Like flotsam, they are surrendered to the shores of consciousness. A space clears and fills with light. The ocean in your heart is but a drop in the ocean in your heart is but a drop in the waters of creation, beyond the boundaries of time and space. Immersed, weightless, let go, be free. So again, this is all about letting go of worries so that you can be free. Our beautiful planet is timeless. Earth doesn't know what day or millennium it is. The calendar we follow means nothing to her. The calendar you follow is but one way of capturing the passing of time. It is a construction, a filter through which we perceive our age or measure our progress through life. The sunrise doesn't wait for an alarm to ring. Life isn't measured by ticks and talks. How old would you be if you didn't know your age? If there was no such thing as too early, too late, or one day, would it change how you see yourself? There are no expectations of where you should be right now. No milestones, no losing, no winning any race. Time cannot impede the turning of the tide, the changing of a season, or the birthing of a star. Outside of time, this is a moment forever. Forever is now. The illusion is lost. Be whole, be present, be timeless. And one affirmation that you can always say is that I am always exactly at the right place, at the right time, doing the right thing. And if you really believe that and have that be your affirmation, then the other thing to remember is nothing that is ever truly meant for you will ever pass you by. So if it was meant to be for you, the universe will give you 1,000 chances for you to take the universe up on that thing. So the money that you want, the love you desire, the success that you want, nothing that is truly yours will ever, ever, ever pass you by. So you do what you need to do in the moment to be present, to be timeless, and just know you're here in the now creating your life. Yeah? Okay. And if you picked card number 4, it is Influence. Look at that dove. So pretty. I love this. Influence. And the moon's at the top. Kind of fitting. There's so much within the card. Okay, influence. The earthly meaning. Balance, imagination, and reality. Be cautious of giving undue influence to baseless assumption. Okay, be cautious of giving undue influence to baseless assumption. Distinguish between opinion and evidence. Become aware of false limitations. False limitations! You are limitless. You can do anything that you want. Put real effort into proving a doubt or fear wrong. Put real effort into proving a doubt or fear wrong. Be open to new ideas and perspectives, but do your homework and ensure a claim can hold true in practice as well as theory. Are you not getting all of this? Because, wow, this is just so deep. Okay. Spiritual meaning. Only through the eyes of the soul can the true nature of your life, existence, and purpose be known. Only through the eyes of the soul can the true nature of your life, existence, and purpose be known. All of life flows from the one divine heart of creation. You have a purpose, a meaning, and a role to play in this great journey of life. It may be beyond the knowing of the physical world, but it is not beyond the knowing of the soul. Imagine boarding a sea vessel and setting off for a grand adventure into the great unknown. You have a fantastic crew, plenty of supplies, and you are looking forward to encountering countless new sights and sounds. You may return home with tantalizing tales. Perhaps you will find a pristine paradise to call home. There is a great world of possibility awaiting you, and you are ready to embrace whatever comes your way. But how different would this journey be if you thought that the world was flat? If every night you went to sleep worrying you might slip over the edge, never to return, how would it change your outlook? What would you do differently? Would you dare leave sight of the familiar shores? Believing the earth was flat wouldn't make it so, but it would create false limitations and influence everything about your journey. Likewise, believing you were unworthy, unlovable, or incapable doesn't make it so. Be conscious of your thoughts, opinions, and values that are influencing your journey. I love this one so much too. So this is really all about, like, again, checking your inner thoughts. What are your old beliefs? What are the beliefs and thought patterns that you have, and are they really serving you? Do you really feel like you are worthy enough to receive everything that you desire, or do you actually not? And if you don't, it's okay, because now is the perfect time to actually reevaluate that, reassess that, change a new story, and choose a different belief, because you are worthy and you are deserving and you are enough to have everything you desire and more. And it should be able to come to you with ease and effortlessness. And anyone who says otherwise is full of shit. Can you get behind that concept or entertain that concept? This is so online with this whole Mercury and Chiron retrograde. So I hope that helps. Let me know if it does or if it resonates. But if you picked card number 1, again, music for manifesting. Probably what I'm going to do after this is over. Then self-employment. And also card number 2, also, if you're really interested in self-employment, I am looking for 3 to 5 secret superheroes who are really wanting to take their zone of genius and turn it into a lucrative money-making side hustle. Because again, I'm all about giving you spiritual tools and practical ways that you can get what you want. And if you're wanting to leave your dead-end job, but you still want to do something fulfilled, creating your own side hustle that you can then later turn into your full-fledged business might be the next best step for you. So if that is something that you're interested in, definitely hit me up, message me, comment below, etc. Because I'm going to be starting a brand new course very soon, probably next week. Of course, time is card number 3. So you're going to want to make sure that you are always at the right place at the right time, doing the right thing, and knowing that time is actually here now in this moment. Do what you need to do in the moment. And then the 4th card is influence. What is influencing your decisions? What is influencing you to do what you're doing today? What has influenced you in the past? And what do you want to choose to influence you moving forward? Let's get rid of those limiting beliefs, shall we? Okay. All right, well, I hope that was helpful. Let me know if you have any questions. If you don't have any questions, then I'm going to sign off, but I will give you a few minutes. Let me know. But this was really fun. Again, retrogrades doesn't mean that life is not going to happen and that you can't get what you want. You can still receive money during a retrograde. You can still find the love of your life during a retrograde. You can still, purchase things on a retrograde. It's not about the retrograde. The retrograde is just giving you an opportunity to really think about what it is that you're putting your energy and your money and your time into and your love into. So if you're really wanting to find someone, then you get to look over that person more with a fine-tooth comb. Is this someone that I want to give my love to? Is this someone that is really harmonious with me, with a job? Is this the way that I really want to make money? Is this belief really supporting me and getting me the money that I desire? Is this, is the way that I'm doing my spiritual work the best way for me? Is there something really wrong with me, or am I ready to really just heal and be, my true authentic self? Can I just align with the universe all day, every day? Am I ready for that, right? and then moving forward. Okay, so can I recreate the Blossom intro? I have no idea what you mean by that. But if you have questions about any of this, let me know in the comments if you come up with it later. Otherwise, I hope you have a magical, wonderful, miraculous week. Just, again, be kind to yourself, love yourself, and remember, you are beautiful, you are gorgeous, you are powerful, and you are so worthy and deserving of everything that you desire and more. And success always starts by saying yes to you. I love you so much, and I will see you all soon on the next video. Mwah!